To our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington.
These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's on 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. First carry now for David Montgomery. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack.
Fields. He'll air this one out for Mims.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all. And I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
They snap it to Fields.
Oh, he stays up. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense for the Bears, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Malik McDowell there to make the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Now Fields. Open man is Denzel Mims.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
One play action. Fields.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
To throw is Fields. That's caught right side by Mims.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Off play action. Fields.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Denzel Mims
with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
Second and 10.
Play action. It's Wilson. On the move to his left.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 44. And to the 43. So So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Flush to his right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it. At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 23. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. And think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. Able to connect with Mims.
And he'll be out right at the 35.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson.
He'll get this out wide to Penny.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson.
Catch is made by Metcalf.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll try and run for it with Penny. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score.
Penny will try to punch it in. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Fields.
He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Eluding the pressure right. That's caught by Montgomery. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
2nd and 2. Here's Fields.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21.
And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Hey, 0-0-0. Let's go. Friday. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Mike, 53.
They go play action now. Wilson.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Hey, 0-0-0. 53 is the mic.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's go. 55 is my guy, 55. I got you.
Throwing again here, Wilson.
That's taken in by Eskridge, complete.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, go. Mike 55, Mike 55. I'm scared.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Second half begins with a run from Penny, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 15-yard line.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That last pass might be one he remembers, Charles. He's now over 40,000 career passing yards.
And just think of the evolution of the passing game in the NFL. 40,000 at one time was unthinkable. No one thought anyone would ever get there. Now, how many guys have done it in the NFL?
Yeah, right around 20.
So we're talking a good number that have gotten that done, throwing the ball downfield. He's got a lot to be proud of and a lot more left to accomplish.
Second down at 7.
Here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Wilson will throw again. And off the deflection, it's caught. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Wilson. Leaves it for Penny. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Myers' kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And their three-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a three-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the gun, here's Fields. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw is Fields.
Flushed out right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and he'll get nothing out of that one. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Troy Apke. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now it's Fields.
Flush to his right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The Bears on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now Fields.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Fields now to throw. A throw left side taken in by Kmet.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
David Montgomery.
His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Mike, 55. Check.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eddie Goldman with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mike, 53. Mike. Quit talking about it and bring it. Far left. On me.
To throw again is Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 48. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Bears are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returnable for Lockett. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. To throw is Wilson. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Throwing again here, Wilson.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here caught by Mims.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here's Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Down right around the 25. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe